we started out with the desire to develop sustainable communities to save the air, save the water, and what we found was it turned into one large R&D project, basically, and we had to be our own biggest advocates. And so what we found was, as we continued down the mission, that here is our mission statement, is to advance and revolutionize the construction, housing, and other highly pollutive industries from their antiquated states to one of efficiency and responsibility by leveraging technology and opportunity. Our commitment is to provide innovative decarbonization and water efficiency solutions within an open source collaboration. The two biggest things I take away from our mission statement is the idea that we have to continue to innovate, we have to be creative. I get a little disappointed because actually I travel a lot, a lot. I'm in a lot of different circles, corporate meetings, banking meetings, doing a lot of different trade shows. And I feel like sometimes innovation gets stifled through the idea of people wanting to control their intellectual property or whatever. So I really push, and everybody in this room as well, to really push the idea of creativity, innovation, open source collaboration. I don't think it happens enough. And so truly, if I can help anyone in this room, my email is info@bowersoxgroup.com. Email me anytime. I'm glad to help. Any of the information we've gathered on our journey is truly yours. And I mean that very sincerely. So, there we go. Okay. So, I need to speed it up here. Sorry. In terms of our housing, what we focus on, and this word's been spoken a lot, is resilient. That idea of resiliency is absolutely key. There's 50% more disasters now than there were 50 years ago, and for a variety of reasons: drought, rolling blackouts in California, whatever the cause is. The need for resiliency inside the built community is absolutely essential, and so that's really what we're focused on. And you get there through two key ways, which is obviously net zero ready water systems, housing that we provide, and also net zero energy ready homes. And so, and I'll get to our project, our Simple Home project, here in a minute. But what do we do and where do we start, right? I mean, that's one of the questions that we've all talked about is there's a lot of talking, maybe not enough action. So that's what we're trying to do. We truly are an action-oriented organization. We've gotten into a lot of different verticals over the last couple months, really, again, out of necessity. We just started a carbon trading desk on Monday. We're rolling out our own carbon trading platform that'll be available in the next 9 to 12 months, only because there wasn't an adequate solution for us to be able to model and monetize the carbon savings inside our communities for our future homeowners. And the nice thing about that is we need to be able to subsidize the cost of sustainability for our homeowners. And so we had to create our own model. So we're in the process of doing that now. And it's neat because we meet so many wonderful people on our journey that help us, and we're able to help them, that it truly is inspiring. I love Bob Dylan. Times they are a-changing. Change is scary, right? I mean, it really is. But the one constant in the universe is change. So we all have to brace for it. We all have to kind of lock arms and get through it together. And I think that's one of the things we've been able to provide, is we kind of hold people's hand through this valley of fear that they go through as they make this transition. Being here in New York, local law 97, I look at it like a banker. I look at all these buildings, I look at them as liabilities, right? Because sometime in the next 10 years, they're going to have to retrofit to an energy efficient standard. So that's the way we look at our communities as well. I don't want to sell a multifamily unit or a multifamily building, operate a multifamily building, sell a home that is functionally obsolete in the future for my renters, my investors, or my homeowners. That does nobody any good. And that's truly what the housing industry is facing. It is the most antiquated, legacy-driven industry out there. They are in for a rude awakening very soon. I use this analogy a lot, but they truly are dinosaurs. And grass is growing underneath their feet, and they're going to have to innovate very quickly, or a lot of these big builders, developers are just going to go out of business because the market is going to sprint past them. they weren't ready for the innovation. They weren't able to pivot in time, and they're really on the edge of extinction, to be quite honest. So again, Plato, thank you, Plato. Net zero energy water, net zero energy, and net zero waste. I've got a really good friend. His name's Matt Prindeville, former CEO of Upstream, wonderful individual. I bring Matt up because there's so many pioneers out there. We're pretty new to the space, to be honest. We just want to do good. And Matt's just such a wonderful man. Upstream's such a wonderful organization. So I think pioneers like that really need to be celebrated. So everybody in this room, we're innovators. We're disruptors. We're in that 2.5%. I think what makes me very excited is, and this is just my opinion, I think in the next 3 to 6 months we're going to hit that mass adoption phase, which is 3% or more statistically, right? So we're close. I can tell you that when we started this journey a couple years ago, no one wanted to hear me, right? They're like, Ryan, you're crazy, and what are you doing? And now the amount of people that search me out, ask me questions, and I'm talking, large organizations that literally slammed the door in my face 2 years ago. It's very exciting, and so it gives me a lot of optimism. So you talk about sustainable construction. What are the key components? Obviously, water efficiency, wonderful solutions like Hydraloop. Indoor environmental air quality is a big one. And I'll get to this more when we get into what a simple home is and the technology behind it. But when you build to a HERS 55 rating or lower, there's only 2 ways to get there. It's actually 2 combined, but it's increasing the R value, your insulation, but creating a tighter envelope. Traditional houses are an ACH, a blower door test of about 6. Our homes are 1.5 or lower. Passive house is about 0.6. So huge disparity there. But when you create a tight envelope, you have to constantly be exchanging the air. So there's wonderful technology by Zender and others out there, another European company. It's a energy recovery ventilator that's constantly moving the air through the home. And what's great about a tight envelope is there's all these little things about it, like you sleep better at night, less bugs in the home because they just can't penetrate the home, right? So there's all these ancillary reasons on why you want a tight envelope, and we'll get to that a little bit more later. Let me go back to this real quick because it is important. So durable, maintaining design, sustainable builds are just a higher quality. They have to be by nature. Energy efficiency, obviously all our homes are net zero energy ready. Eco-friendly use of materials. Rule of thumb, wood is good, steel and concrete bad. In fact, rule of thumb, 80% of your embodied carbon in a project is always in the concrete. That's how dirty the supply chain is and how dirty it is to actually make it. It's nasty stuff. And then waste reduction, right? So we've talked about circular water, circular economy. That's what this slide talks about. This linear approach is what got us into this mess. We have to use this idea of reusing, and I don't even like the word recycling. We got to reuse. We have to reuse. Recycling is not enough. We have to reuse. So circular economy, we're all familiar with that. Triple net bottom line. Obviously, we cannot make profit in spite of people and planet. That's what got us into this mess. I actually urge everybody, in the carbon space, I'm a little disappointed. They don't focus on the social aspect enough. As we know, middle and lower income wage earners are always disproportionately affected. There's a lot of profiteering on the carbon side right now, a lot of greenwashing. There must be more activity on the social side. So what is a simple home? So we've got Simply Clarksville. It's a town in North Georgia. It's beautiful, quaint little town. 140 net zero energy ready homes, net zero water ready homes, powered by Hydraloop. What really makes us special is the fact that, there's net zero energy ready homes and net zero ready water homes all over the place. Ours are in a master plan community, 100 units or more, high density, 7 or more per acre. So it kind of gives you that London-esque feel, that village feel, live, work, play experience. That's what really makes our communities exceptional. So inside the simple homes, here's just a list of some of the technology. They're a smaller footprint, more attainable, so we can get the price point down so it's affordable for everybody. One bedroom is about 787 square feet. The 4 bedrooms, 1,500 square feet. Yeah, exceptional designs. We've got, Jackson Hole Modern for the western side. We've got, Greek vernacular and farmhouse chic or farmhouse modern. So just depending on the area and what design is more fitting. This graph here, what I want everybody to focus on is, to build sustainable, it's just inherently a higher quality. And what we find is that over time for a conventional building, the actual cost of maintenance goes up. For a sustainable build, it actually tapers off. You'll see that green line, and actually in a lot of cases goes down. So if you're the homeowner, you're getting into a home that is going to appreciate 15 to 20% more. It's going to last 20 to 40% longer. So the OpEx component of the home is lower, 50 to 100% lower, depending if you use 2 to 3 kW solar system to get true net zero. But again, that quality of build, there's just less maintenance in the home. So that's what's really exciting about this. These are just some of the features of the simple home and what makes them great. I used to have another slide that showed stick building like 1890. It looked the same, right? it hasn't innovated, right? Again, we got to innovate. So these homes on the left probably took about 6 months to build. Our homes on the right, 12 weeks. So again, when you talk about systemization, scalability, we can get there. We can do an entire neighborhood in a year. We talk about resilience, the capacity to withstand or to recover quickly from difficulties. Everybody in this room, obviously we agree on that. Resiliency is absolutely the #1 key to what we do. This just demonstrates the HERS rating for single family inside the United States through the Inflation Reduction Act. It's HERS 55 or lower. So if you're a single family homeowner, it's $5,000 for the 45L tax credit, which is exciting. That's non-prevailing wage. So the developer can take that, the homeowner can take that, but you have to hit that HERS rating of 55 or lower. And again, you get there 2 ways, through increasing the insulation and a tight envelope. And our envelope, as you'll see in the top right, is 15 times tighter than a traditional boat. You're cutting me off.
I'm getting close.
30 seconds, 30 seconds, 30 seconds, 30 seconds. Because I'm going to talk about Hydraloop, your favorite subject.
No, they know us now.
No? Okay, all right. You know Hydraloop, they're the best. One of the things that hasn't been mentioned is I really like the app that's on their phone. It really helps you optimize the water usage in the home. And that's one of the reasons why we went with it, because everything we do is technology based, right? We've got an AI brain that really modulates this home. So we had to have a system that complemented that, and Hydraloop offered that. And the energy efficiency of the appliance. That was key for us. How can we get to net zero if we've got this appliance that's taking up all the electricity, right? So that was absolutely key. And thank you.